Hello everyone, welcome back to the James A channel. A few hours on from watching The Reality War, of course the finale of Doctor Who Season 2. There's going to be spoilers, but I thought I'd do my thoughts with a bit of time passing, because I did a brief initial reaction to the Billie Piper reveal as the Doctor, or maybe not as the Doctor, because as people pointed out, she is not introduced as the Doctor, so there probably is something going on there. But I thought maybe I was a bit harsh in that. Usually I try and be neutral about things. Maybe I can be a bit harsh on things sometimes, but I thought it was a fairly negative video. I did a live stream as well, but the live stream isn't really a proper video on thoughts. I wanted to do something a bit quicker and a bit more positive, because I think looking online, not just at my video, but I kind of thought maybe people being quite negative about this. So I thought I'd do something a bit more light-hearted. But look, the thing is, maybe it was not a great story for me, and not one of the standouts of the season, but I'm not going to focus on that, and I think it's worth just focusing on what the story did do well, because there was a couple of things like maybe Omega being wasted a little bit. I think a few unanswered questions that were a bit frustrating. But look, there were definitely things that the story did well. Obviously, the music was really good. We got With His Tears His Hope from the 12th Doctor era, so that was pretty crazy to see that. And the just good music throughout with Shuri's regeneration as well. I thought that was really well done. The effects there, yeah, maybe I was a bit harsh than before saying that they looked rubbish. I don't really know what I was talking about, because I watched it again. It looked good. I think what I just meant was that maybe other times it's been a bit more impressive, but I didn't like this one as much. I still liked it. All the regenerations are really cool. It's kind of the standout moments of stories usually, but maybe I preferred other ones. Um, not acting was all good. Ncuti, for his final performance, I thought did very well, and I think a lot of the negativity was probably more just from being sad that he's left. Even if he wasn't at the top of my list for Doctors, he was still a good one. He still had memorable performances throughout the season. So it is a shame that he's gone, and I think, yeah, I'm sure he'll return at some point, maybe for a brief return. We'll see. We haven't had a multi-Doctor story for a little while, even though we get little bits and pieces every now and then. Jodie Whittaker returned, which was good. I thought she did really well in that. And yeah, the Ranis, both of them, obviously good. I think Archie Punjabi, it's a shame she got essentially killed off pretty early on, but she did get that reunion, that confrontation with Mel, which I thought was very well done, and it did seem pretty faithful to the Kate O'Mara portrayal. I could imagine her reacting in a very similar manner. I think maybe with the Rani, the whole plan to resurrect the Time Lords didn't seem totally in character for her. Usually, I think what works better for the Rani is just a little sneaky plan, but actually the Doctor has to foil it because it has great consequences. So this was quite a different story for the Rani based on some of the things we've had for her before. But yeah, no problems there for me. And I think overall the story, like, yeah, it wasn't amazing, but I wouldn't say it was bad, because at the end of the day, even if you're left wanting answers to things like Rogue, Susan, as long as you're entertained, that's kind of the main thing. The biggest sin Doctor Who story can commit is to be boring, and I wouldn't say this was boring, even if maybe I was a little unengaged towards the end. But you know, these are minor critiques, and it's always hard to get those finales right. The balance of things is a lot to do. So that's kind of the thoughts on the story. As for the future of the show, yeah, with Billie Piper, what I didn't notice was that it said introducing Billie Piper rather than as the Doctor. So I no longer think she probably will be the 16th Doctor. There'll be something going on there, which I'm interested to see. But even if she is the Doctor, um, I wouldn't say I'm annoyed about the idea of her being the Doctor. I think it's more just the idea of the Doctor taking the form of a companion. Of a former companion, particularly a big one. I know what you can say. Well, the Sixth Doctor had already been Commander Maxwell, or Capaldi had already been in the Fires of Pompeii. But I think it's a bit different with Rose, because she is such a iconic character. So to see Billie Piper back, it was a weird feeling. I did say I was disappointed, and again, a lot of that disappointment is from the fact that Ncuti Gatwa is no longer the Doctor. But yeah, maybe it does seem a little bit like they've gone for the shock factor with Billie Piper being cast, but doesn't change the fact that I'm interested to see where they go with it. Because ultimately, even if you're not happy with the casting, I think maybe some people are going to say, no, that's enough for me, I'm not watching anymore. But I think a lot of us will sort of be like, oh, well, where are they going to go with this? What directions are going to go in? So I'm interested to see the direction that they go in with it. So, yeah, overall, look, nice having the unit lot back. I think, even though I'm trying to be positive, there was still quite a bit of sitting around with the unit, and Omega was wasted, which was, it was frustrating as someone who likes the classics. But, yeah, I don't think I'm as negative about this as I made it out. I'm just sitting on the fence. It's probably maybe a 5 out of 10. I don't hate it, but I wouldn't say I was a big fan of it. There's definitely some really good things, but unfortunately, there can be those little things which can kind of be in the back of your mind, like Omega and Zeus and all these sort of things that weigh into the decision making. So that's pretty much it. It will be interesting to see where the show goes, what the future is. We've got the war between the land and the sea eventually coming up, and the trailer for that looked interesting, so you should definitely check that out. Those are pretty much my thoughts, and yeah, I thought it would just be worth doing this video because I usually try and be positive about Doctor Who, but maybe I overreacted a tiny bit. But yeah, not really sort of in line with the usual types of videos I do, so not expecting anyone to agree or disagree, but I just thought for me it would almost make amends for the situation, because I don't think it's fair for you guys to see a lot of negative content, and I wouldn't say it was overly negative, but I maybe didn't look at the positives of the situation. I think I was probably focusing too much on what I wasn't liking, but you know, when there's a big reveal like the one we got there, naturally you kind of have pretty extreme emotions, and it can take time for those to settle. So if you haven't watched any of these videos I've done for the reality war, you're probably quite confused, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts on the reality war and season 2 in general. Does it taint season 2? Because season 2 is very good up to this point. I wouldn't say it taints it. Maybe it weakens it ever so slightly, because you do often need really good finales to tie everything together, and I don't necessarily know if it did. I think rewatching it a bit more and unpacking it will be the best thing to do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you haven't watched my videos, then make sure to subscribe, because I'm going to just quickly talk about the future of the channel, which is essentially, yeah, life is pretty busy at the moment. The next couple of weeks, probably won't be able to do much. I'm hoping to do a video, and that will be revisiting my Doctor Who Season 2 tier list, which I did at the start of the series. So hopefully I can revisit that and offer some insights, see if I was wrong or right about some things. I pretty much had no knowledge of that. But then after that, I don't know, maybe some more live streams, Doctor Who Mysteries. Hopefully a couple more Doctor Who Mysteries videos, can do those soon. If you haven't checked those out, you really should. They're probably my favourite thing to do on the channel. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Hopefully you've enjoyed me rambling, and a bit of a different video, because it's almost like me apologising for the fact that maybe I was almost a bit out of character, because usually in reviews I can talk about some negative things, but I make up for it with, well, I thought this was good, I thought this was good. That reaction video is me saying, I'm disappointed, I'm blah, 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 blah. And I thought, you know what, this almost needs to be the part 2 of that, the justification for that, and try not to generalise, because I think I was like, oh, everyone's going to think this is bad. No, obviously there's going to be a mix of thoughts on it, and that's part of what's good about the show. I know a lot of people are going to be annoyed about it, and again, I just want to make it clear, my annoyance was probably more just situational rather than any people. I think it's just a shame that Ncuti went in this manner. I thought maybe it seemed a bit abrupt to end his era in this way. It seemed like we were in full swing, and then halfway through the story, it's suddenly like, oh, Ncuti is actually going to go. It's actually happening. So it does give you quite a weird feeling. Yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.